Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, villagers of Rio Claro took to the streets in protest on Monday, calling on the government and National Gas Company to replant forests cleared for energy projects and to provide long-promised employment to residents. And the energy projects that will probably be constructed in those cleared forested areas would have been the way to provide employment to them. So how do you want the government to still provide employment for them if it is plant back trees in the forest in the area that was deforested? Armed with placards, the residents, led by Rio Claro Unemployment Association President Luis Castillo, marched to the Point Lisa's roundabout to highlight what they described as years of broken promises following deforestation linked to the Cascadura project. My response: the Kakash media is rejoicing yet again. What PNM gave these patriots for the past 10 years? You know what I saw, and this is how I knew it was politically motivated. I saw placards with the writing, "We want jobs for Afro people in our communities." You all know that is a PNM talking point, as though the UNC isn't doing anything for the Afro communities. Even though, when you look at all the projects being done, a whole lot of the projects that are being done is in PNM constituencies, which usually has a very high Afro population. So we all know that this protest right about now is politically motivated. So I said, what PNM gave these patriots for the past 10 years? How come they were not actually showing any sort of concern, any significant concern when Emperor Rowley was in office for the past 10 years? So I asked them again, what PNM gave these patriots for the past 10 years? So I asked them, a gospel of weaning, belt tightening, coal pots, bicycles, and a mighty morphin Ghana yam that was supposed to feed the entire nation. Was that what Rowley gave all you? That is what had you all contented and quiet for the past 10 years? What was the red code? Because somebody said yellow is the code. I say, okay, well then what is the red code? Were they using tribalism as a strategy in order to persuade Emperor Rowley to provide jobs for them? I wasn't seeing any placards during Emperor Rowley's reign talking about Afro people need jobs too. So how come all of a sudden, because Rowley wasn't giving no Afro people jobs here in Trinidad and Tobago, nobody was getting jobs except his very few friends. So what it is, what he was really saying when Rowley was in office, but all of a sudden now you want to use the tribal card? I wanted to say the blatant hypocrisy is something I will never understand. Both parties, nevertheless, are guilty of deception and double standards, people. Don't get me wrong. But PNM patriots take it to a whole new or to a whole other level. Don't go anywhere. More local, regional, and international news up next.
Create employment. Right now. Land back the forest. Right now. Land back the forest. Right now. Create employment. Right now. Create employment. Right now. Right now. Create employment. Right now. NGC plan back with forest. Right now. NGC plan back with forest. Right now. Create employment. Right now. Create employment. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now! Land back to forest! Right now! Create employment! Right now! Create employment! Right now! NGC land back to forest! Right now! Land back to forest! Right now! Create back to forest! Right now! NGC land back to forest! Right now! Create We're talking about the damages NGC do to our forests and to the wildlife. They cut down so much trees. They're feeding for the wildlife too. So what about the ecosystem? So they feel, well, we're a pack of fools, we know what we're about.
It's very difficult for me to get employment right now. My house is dilapidated. I have no help. I signed up several times for grants through the government system. Nothing came through yet. And my house, it's very, very bad to live in.
Right now! Create employment! Right now! NGC plan back with forest! Right now! NGC plan back with forest! Right now! Create employment! Right now! Create employment! Right.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says she is unbothered by comments made by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, or as I call him, Emperor Thanos Rowley. Speaking to TV6 News, Persad-Bissessar explained, "It may seem on the surface that I am unbothered by when Rowley and the PNM trolls say very controversial or inappropriate things about me, but the truth is that deep down inside I am very, very, very unbothered." The Prime Minister further stated that she is not considering legal action against Rowley or any of the media houses or any media house. Must give credit to the Prime Minister for showing that she is a strong leader and she's not going to allow anyone to try to bully her into submission, whether it's the CARICOM tribal leaders or the former emperor, or at least that's the way he used to behave, like an emperor of Trinidad and Tobago. The West Indies women's cricket team has been fined following their T20 opener against Australia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday. Captain Hayley Matthews and her side were docked 10% of their match fees after finishing 2 overs short of the required over rate. Match referee Rion King ruled the side fell 2 overs short of their target even after time allowances, triggering an ICC Code of Conduct sanction that cost players 5% of their match fee per over. Captain Hayley Matthews accepted responsibility and pleaded guilty to the charge, avoiding a formal hearing. A simple thing, like ensuring that if you complete all the overs, is something that you all couldn't do. My response, and this is not just about targeting the women's team, I said, it's time to dissolve both the men and women's West Indies cricket teams. We've been rallying around failure and mediocre performances for over 30 years, people. The last of the greats, the last of the Mohicans was Brian Lara, Ramdaresh Sarwan, Courtney Walsh, Curtly Ambrose, Shivnarine Chandapol. These were the last of the greats. Since then, it's only a bunch of people that basically only out there for show, to show how much time they could hit a couple sixes and then get out and end up getting out. It's high time we stop wasting money. Whoever is coming up with the money to fund the West Indies Cricket Board, it's high time for that to stop.
Tuesday, March 24, 2026, in Trinidad and Tobago is forecast to be mostly sunny and breezy, with a few showers expected during the afternoon. While the day will be largely fine, some showers could become moderate or heavy, particularly over western areas of Trinidad. Temperatures expect a maximum high of 32 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, Piarco, and 31 degrees Celsius in Tobago, Crown Point. Nighttime lows will dip to around 23 degrees Celsius. Rainfall: there is a 35% to 40% chance of rain during the peak afternoon hours 12 p.m. 3 p.m. Winds and seas: conditions will be breezy with moderate seas. Waves are expected to reach 1.5 meters to 2.0 meters in open waters and remain below 1.0 meters in sheltered areas. Saharan dust: a mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust remains in the atmosphere. Sensitive individuals should take necessary precautions when outdoors.
Regional news now. Sanctioned businessman Nazar Mohammed and Azruddin Mohammed have moved to the Caribbean Court of Justice, filing an urgent application seeking special leave to appeal and a stay of ongoing extradition proceedings. They're trying every way possible to be able to prevent these two guys from going to America to face very serious charges in court. Court documents seen by this publication on Monday show that the application filed under CCJ applications asked the regional court to overturn the March 17th decision of the Guyana Court of Appeal, which dismissed their challenge to the authority to proceed in the United States extradition case. In the filing, the Mohammeds are requesting several orders, including that special leave be granted to appeal the decision of the Court of Appeal, that the appellate ruling be reversed or set aside, and critically, that extradition proceedings therefore before the Magistrates Court be stayed pending the determination of the CCJ matter, playing for time. The father and son duo are also seeking an expedited hearing, asking the court to treat the special leave application as a substantive appeal, should the court deem it appropriate. Remember, the Caribbean Court of Justice, people, is very politically motivated. And if these individuals are against the Irfan Ali administration, rest assured, most likely, even if it's an unfair ruling, they may end up ruling in favor of the individuals who are filing this appeal instead of the state of Guyana. A senior accounting clerk employed by the Jamaica Constabulary Force was recently found guilty of undertaking a fraudulent allowance scheme. People in high places just taking money and spending it and using it however they want because they feel they are above the law. Gwendolyn Ward was convicted of multiple counts of falsification of accounts, forgery, and embezzlement in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday, March 13th. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, disclosed in a press release yesterday. MOCA said the matter arose from an investigation launched in 2015. Look how long ago. Following a report from the police finance branch into a fraudulent allowance scheme involving JCF personnel. The agency said investigators established that at least 4 police officers, police again, improperly received allowances totaling more than 4.5 million Jamaican dollars, with Ward falsifying official records and forging colleagues' signatures to facilitate the unlawful payments. She was convicted by Parish Court Judge Chester Crooks and is scheduled to be sentenced on April 10th. I hope justice is fully served. Let that individual spend a significant amount of time in prison, because at the end of the day, the common man would have probably had to spend a good 10 or more years in jail. Restoring East Grand Bahama. Government and partners break ground on a major environmental restoration project to revive coastal ecosystems and strengthen climate resilience. The Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, in partnership with the Bonefish and Tarpon Trust, has officially launched construction on a large-scale restoration effort in East Grand Bahama following the signing of a memorandum of understanding. The project will remove sections of the West Gap Creek and Snapper Island causeways barriers that have disrupted natural water flow, allowing tidal exchange to return and supporting the recovery of vital mangrove habitats. Beyond improving water quality and rebuilding marine ecosystems, the initiative will boost fisheries, enhance climate resilience, and support sustainable tourism industries like flying fishing. With community input, contractor coordination, and an environmental management plan guiding the work, the project marks a critical step from planning to action, with completion targeted for 2026 this year, and long-term benefits for Grand Bahama's environmental communities. Now, this is good news. It just begs the question, why now, just before elections? The same thing PNM did, PNM started to do a whole set of different projects, mostly in PNM districts, though, just before elections, and they still lost. Let's see what will take place after the elections, what will be the results in the Bahamas later this year. Member of Parliament for St. Lucie, Barbados, Peter Phillips, is urging residents to avoid retaliation following Sunday night's fatal shooting, even as he renewed his call for the reinstatement of capital punishment. I support that 100%, and I hope and pray that Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will find a way to be able to fulfill her promise of restoring that here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. Let there be no retaliation. Put down the guns. We must not take matters into our own hands. The law will do what it has to do, Phillips said on Monday. I fully agree with him when it pertains to that as well. The appeal came as he visited the family of Romario Archer, the 31-year-old who was killed during a shooting at a karaoke event in Friars Well, Checker Hall. Let's just hope that justice is served.
This is not what we want. This is not what we want. This is not how we want it to be done. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know the perpetrators of the crime, but I want to appeal, to make this appeal, first of all, to my constituents, because you are tempted, and the youngsters you may be tempted to retaliate. Let there be no retaliation where this is concerned. Put down the guns, put away the guns. The Lord will take care of this. Whoever that person or persons were that would have did this, God is going to get them. He will deal with them. We must not take the matters into our own hands. The law will do what the law have to do. This is not the kind of thing that we are accustomed to, that we know of in St. Lucie. You hear it in other areas of Barbados. Indeed, it is not the kind of it is not what we would want. It is not what we would want in any part of Barbados, whether it's St. Lucie, any community at all. We want young people to put down. We want people. I don't think that there was any kind of dispute. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on them. All I want that there must be peace in this community. There must be peace in St. Lucie. There must be peace all over Barbados. And I want to appeal to people, whatever differences there may be, let us settle the differences over. I don't say rum and coke because I don't drink. We can settle them in a peaceable manner. This is not what Barbados has been accustomed to. Too much is happening, too much is going on, and I will stand with the government. I support, and I will say this without any kind of hesitation, I support capital punishment. I believe we have to begin to hang, and you can quote me, hang a couple of people for doing this foolishness, because I believe that since there is no capital punishment, people believe whatever agencies overseas and it does not support, people believe that they can do whatever they wish, because I can go up indoors and sit down and relax and eat 4 square meals a day and such, and I'm talking the way I feel this morning. This is not the way. This is not the way. I want people to put down the guns, stop this stupid, this kind of execution, mafia-style execution of people.
International news now. Rip Current rescue. A California swim coach is being hailed a hero after diving into dangerous waters to save a father and daughter caught in powerful rip currents. Baywatch in real life. The pair were struggling to stay afloat before the coach dove into the water without hesitation and brought them to shore, where other bystanders waited to lend a hand. Good job. That is wonderful news.
Cracks the lip and holds on to that one. Good work there. Hey, come on in here. Hey, come here, quick. Quick, now. All right, let's get to the swimmers. Set up the jetty. Swimmers then to the
American history. The Trump administration has installed a 13-foot tall statue of Christopher Columbus at the White House as part of the country's 250th anniversary celebrations. As we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary of independence, the White House is proud to honor Christopher Columbus's legendary life and legacy with a well-deserved statue on the White House grounds. Meanwhile, tribal Trinidad and people in the Caribbean want to forget about our past, our colonial past, ignoring the fact that we are civilized, developed nations because of Western civilization, because of colonialism. Was every aspect of colonialism good? No, definitely not. Certainly not. I oppose slavery. I oppose a lot of different things that took place during that era. But I'm also thankful for what took place. I am also thankful for the introduction of the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the entire world, which took place because, of course, of colonialism. The Israeli Defense Force struck a major IRGC headquarters established in civilian infrastructure. You see, that's what terrorists do best, Not the IDF I'm talking about. The IRGC, that's of course the Iranian forces, right? Whether it's Hezbollah, whether it is Hamas, Houthis, they always use civilian buildings and civilian areas to have military bases because they use civilians as human shields. So anyhow, it was also responsible for directing the Basij battalions. The Basij forces are part of the IRGC's armed forces and have been responsible for the execution of terror attacks for many years. The forces led the suppression of internal protests in Iran, including the recent protests with the use of violence, arrests, and physical force. Remember, tens of thousands of people died, people recently. So, of course, Israel and the USA is continuing to dismantle the terrorist regime in Iran. Would they finish the job completely? Maybe not. The Ayatollah may end up remaining in control of Iran, but they're doing enough to give the Iranian people the chance, a good chance, a fighting chance of restoring democracy in their country on their own, and also preventing or removing the Ayatollah's capability of attacking any nations, whether it's their neighboring nations or places like Israel and even the USA and other parts of Europe. Now for the interesting facts segment. In Florida, a local sheriff's office turned seized drug money into something positive for the community. About $900,000 confiscated from illegal activities was used to purchase an ice cream truck, which now visits neighborhoods to hand out free treats to the kids. The initiative transforms money once linked to harm into moments of joy and connection. By engaging directly with families and children, officers are building trust and spreading smiles, proving that even small creative ideas can make a meaningful impact in communities. Now, this is a wonderful reason to say good job, officers.
Welcome to Real Conservative News Travel Adventures. Lake Clark National Park and Preserve is a remote, breathtaking Alaska destination accessible only by air taxi, featuring turquoise lakes, active volcanoes, Iliamna and Redoubt, and immense bear viewing opportunities. Spanning over 4 million acres with no roads, it offers intimate wildlife encounters, premier salmon fishing, hiking, and pristine backcountry adventures far from crowds. Key travel details. Access: small planes from Anchorage, Kenai, or Homer are required, typically flying into Port Olsworth. Top activities: coastal bear viewing, backcountry hiking, kayaking on Lake Clark, sightseeing, and rafting. Best time to visit: June offers fine weather for hiking, July and September are prime for salmon fishing and viewing coastal bears. Visitor services: most lodging, gear rentals, like bear spray and services are centered in Port Olsworth. Wildlife: brown/black bears, moose, wolves, and caribou are commonly seen. This park is ideal for travelers seeking raw, untouched wilderness and an escape from urban life. Across every border and every sea, the journey continues. Every sunset here is a sunrise somewhere else. We'll see you tomorrow at the next horizon.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.